Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a calm conversation that's meant to help you drift right on off to sleep or to a chill state. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
I'm Amanda Barker. Hi.
How you doing, Amanda?
I'm well. I'm really excited. I get to see our fan favorite friend, Nidhi Khanna, this
Amazing.
weekend.
Yes.
She has a surprise for me, and I don't know what it is.
And then you're going to a concert.
In 2 days after that.
Okay,
yeah.
so you have quite
Not on the same day.
Not on the same day.
I'm going to see Lebe, and it looks like La Fe, but the kids, literally the kids, because I'm taking my niece, tell me it's pronounced Lebe.
And that's kind of a bossa nova-y kind of...
She does bossa nova and jazz, and she's huge with 14-year-olds. Who knew?
Who knew indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of 14-year-olds and under, we did the error that we do sometimes where we buy Halloween candy too early.
Yeah, we did. I was thinking about it this morning. I think I should go put it in the car.
It's going to melt in the car.
I don't think you realize that it's mid-fall and the car is cold.
All right, put it in the car.
At least I'm going to
try. Okay.
Yeah.
Hide it in the car
and
from us.
even if it melts a little bit, they're little chocolate bars. They'll be fine. You know?
Who wants a melted chocolate bar?
It won't be melted when a kid opens it. Listen, I'm also going to give out chips because chips give bulk to any Halloween candy bag. But I don't want to just do plain chips. I want to do like...
fancy chips?
Just something a little bit different, or like little bags of popcorn or something. So we can do both of those. But you're right. This can't continue.
This cannot continue.
Because we bought the kind we like. We didn't even buy in Canada, there's the one that's nut-free, and that one I can leave for a while. I don't know if you can, but I can. There's only really one, possibly two candies in there that I like. Really only one that I like, so the rest I can leave. I eat all of those. I eat all the Kit Kats out of the box, I'm going to be honest, and then I leave the rest. But this one, the one we got, is not the nut-free. So it has all my favorites, my Canadian favorites, like Crispy Crunch, Wonder Bar.
And so Amanda's been going through a tear of Wonder Bar.
Yeah, I have.
And
it's not good.
It's not good. So
also, don't shop for Halloween candy when you have a chocolate craving. It's not the right choice.
No, it's not the right choice. And the funny thing is, we don't get that many kids on our street. So we will
You and I have this debate every year. Yes, we do.
We don't.
We do.
Okay.
We get like 50.
Do we?
Yeah.
All right.
Even 40 is a lot, I think.
It is because they always come when we're making dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and there's always that thing of how long am I going to leave everything outside before I close up shop. Right. You know, like after 9 o'clock, you might get one or two of sort of the teens coming by.
Sure.
Which I'm very much for. I wish adults could do it.
How great would that be?
I mean, if I put on a mask, I'm short enough. I think I might get away with it. And I think I've told this story before where I did once get away with it, but I was like in my 20s.
You got to do what you got to do.
I dressed up as
Raggedy Ann.
No, the monkey from Aladdin. So I had a mask.
Okay.
My mom had the costume. It's a long story.
I wasn't expecting that.
The monkey from Aladdin? No,
I wasn't expecting that.
No. Anyway, it was a mask. So, and then I was with my brother and his friend who were boys still.
I see.
They were like boy childs.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, I don't know, 12 or 13. And so they had boy faces, but big bodies. So my body was the same size as them. And my adult face was hidden by a mask.
I see.
And I cleaned up and I was very happy.
We went in high school one time just to trick or treat. We didn't care about the candy. We just went around ringing doorbells and saying trick or treat.
You didn't care about the candy?
We didn't really care about the candy. I don't even think we had bags, and people would just give us candies anyways. We just wanted to experience it.
I love this tradition. And, they have mummers apparently in Newfoundland, and the Calathumpians, whom I've talked about in the past, were a similar thing where they go door to door, usually during the holidays, and ring the bells. But we learned about a new one in Italy this week.
Oh, I don't know what we learned.
So you have cousins visiting from Italy.
Right.
Who are in their 20s.
Yes.
And one of them told us about was a Santa Lucia Day.
Oh, that's
December
right.
16th, anyway.
I think it was wasn't it the 11th?
16th.
Okay.
Because I remember thinking it's the day before someone's birthday.
Mine. Okay.
And that they ring a cowbell. They're from very northern Italy, folks.
Right. I think it's probably more regional.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard of this tradition.
Yeah. They're Swiss-ish. They're not. They're Italian.
Not Swiss. You can't call somebody something that they're not.
That came out wrong.
They're Swiss.
I just straight up said they're Swiss. They're not Swiss. They're Italian. But they're from Trento.
Which is the region that borders Switzerland.
Yeah. So they're as close to Swiss as Italians are going to get. They're both over 6 feet for starters. Anyway, and apparently on December 16th, you ring a cowbell to people's doors and they give you candy and treats, which I think is lovely.
Sure, but then you hear a lot of cowbells happening.
More cowbell.
I guess.
I
guess that's true.
Yeah, so that's a fun trip. Maybe we should do that and see how that works out for us. Here.
Speaking of Santa Lucia, this is like we have like 2 more episodes after this one, and then we're going to be on pause until...
Oh, the holiday pause.
Until the holiday episodes, December 1st. So,
but we should do some Patreon content and focus on that during that time. We
definitely have to do that because we haven't done that in a while.
I'm sorry to our Patreons. I have no excuses, but we're developing some fun content for you as I speak. So it's coming.
So get ready for Amanda's fun content. It's going to be called Amanda's Fun Content.
Yeah, it's like my craft corner. I think I honestly, years ago when I was like in my 20s, I wanted to do like a frugal blog. I kind of wish I had.
I want to darn a sock. I have a little hole in this sock. And I remember as a child, my mom would take a light bulb that didn't work, put it in the sock to darn the hole.
Oh, that's
have you ever heard of that?
Smart.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've heard of darning socks, but I didn't know the light bulb. That's
and there was
smart practice.
There was always a light bulb with the sewing box. I don't know what you would call it. My mom had like a little, it almost looked like a basket, like a meager basket you would take on a picnic. I don't know how to describe it. A poor man's basket. I don't know.
Yeah, but everyone's mom, I think, had a sewing box, like a sewing kit.
This one was a basket.
Okay, well, I mean, it's the same difference, but with their needles and their push pins and all that.
And there was always a light bulb in it for such an occasion.
That's where you and my mom were different. My mom's little thing that you put the pins in was a tomato.
Yes, we had a tomato too, and it would have a little baby pepper.
We didn't have that accoutrement on it.
No, but it was like hanging off the tomato. I know,
I've seen those. We didn't have that part. Just the straight tomato. I think we had a strawberry too.
What was the purpose of the little hanging tomato or pepper?
There wasn't, Margot. That's why my New England parents didn't need a hanging tomato piece off the tomato.
There must have been a purpose. They wouldn't just have that.
Maybe they had it for bellezza.
Okay, for beauty? I don't know. Yeah, there was that. My grandmother was quite a sewer.
I bet. Yeah, she was. And so was I think most people's grandmothers or now great-grandmothers were. They had to be.
Sure.
And it's a lost art. We've talked about that before. You know, I saw something, and I am not on the TikToks. I'm not on TikTok.
Neither are we. Don't look for the Insomnia Project on TikTok.
You will not find us. But
Amanda will start one because she's starting new projects.
Okay. All right. I should. And but you know, we all get these videos regardless on whatever social media you might be on, those videos, reels and things, Instagram videos.
Sure.
Anyway, I saw one that intrigued me. If you have a hole, like a little moth hole in your sweater.
I do.
In your wool sweater.
I do. My cashmere sweater.
Okay, so you take a clothes shaver.
Okay.
And you shave it. Get all the little nubbers off.
Okay.
Then you use those shavings, and there's a special type of glue, bonding glue, that you can use. You just dab a little tiny bit of it onto the sweater, and then you use the shave nubber.
To cover the hole?
Yeah.
The former hole?
Yeah. And it looked like new, like you would not know it. Your eye would not.
What glue are we using?
It's a good question. It's
a fabric glue of some sort?
A fabric glue, I think, yeah. And just honestly, like a little dab. I should look it up, but
This doesn't sound right to me.
it looked amazing
Okay.
on the thing I saw. So
I
that's
think
how you know it's true.
They make things look amazing,
Yeah, that's their job as content creators.
I guess.
We're creating content right now.
It's true, audio content.
Yeah, they should call us content influencers.
We should be influencers. Influencers of sleep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, we influence people, but only in their dreams.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
what it'll say on our website.
I was just watching one of these TikTok-y kind of videos of a young man who was ordering like a surprise bag of tropical fish
Okay.
and unpacking them. And that was fun.
See, you watch fish videos to relax.
I do watch a lot of fish
and
videos.
I watch frugal hacks to relax. And
yeah, you were doing something this morning.
yeah, it was a frugal tips and tricks.
Okay.
And everyone says the same thing. Like, somebody inevitably asks, usually the AI bot, but today was a real person, like, what frugal tips have changed do you do, and it's just part of your lifestyle?
Sure.
And pretty much everyone was like, meal prep, meal planning. And so I don't know if we want to talk about this, so I'll give you a moment.
Sure.
You can edit it out.
No, this works fine.
Okay. I talked about reusable pads and period underwear, and people were incensed.
Though they were upset.
Yeah. They were
Okay.
like, that is disgusting, lady. How could you do that?
my
And
goodness.
I said, people also have reusable diapers. It might horrify you. But they just couldn't believe it. Now, I tried to explain, like, these are pads you can buy. They're actually very clean, and it's actually less gross than the disposable ones. But, people hear what they want. So I didn't really get into it with them. I just said,
Sure.
and I calculated that I saved $1,800 using them. And a few years ago, used that and said, that's our trip to Cuba.
And there you go. Frugal hacks, whether you like them or not.
I know. I don't know if I just didn't know if you wanted me to talk about that.
That kind of stuff.
I don't know.
I didn't know where that was going.
Where that content was going.
Right, sure. But hopefully a lot of people who would be incensed are asleep at this point.
All right.
I have put out some of the decor for outside.
Our Halloween.
Our Halloween and fall stuff, because of
Mhm.
course Thanksgiving happens early in Canada compared to the U.S. We
Mhm.
just had our Thanksgiving, and that was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be going away for American Thanksgiving, so that'll be fun as well.
That's the plan.
That's the plan, indeed. So
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be executed. And I have a coffee here that Amanda made me. I'm very happy about.
I did. And I think I was saying last time we were talking about Thanksgivings, and I was talking about the Macy's parade.
Yes.
Did we talk about that last time? I've talked about it a lot lately, but I don't think here.
I can't remember now.
I don't think I did.
All right.
So, you and I have plans to go see once again, I think I can say it, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And it's a really sweet memory for me. It's a very American thing, of course. It's sort of the pinnacle of American Thanksgiving on TV.
And I'm not
other
one
than
for
football.
I'm not one for parades. That's not my thing. I've never been standing around watching. After a while, I get bored and cold. But
That's fair.
But I'm excited about going to see this one because as a child, even here in Canada, you would often see it on television.
Mhm.
And they have these really big inflatable floats, if you're not familiar with the Macy's Day Parade.
It's true, because we in North America, it's so part of our discussion, but I'm probably not played around the world.
No.
And we have listeners around the world. But the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is obviously sponsored by the department store Macy's. What advertising,
Sure, yeah.
There's so many department stores that don't even exist anymore. Most of them
It's
don't.
become iconic,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's actually kept Macy's, you might say, afloat.
Fair. I would say that. Like, what's that store that was in It's a Wonderful Life that doesn't exist anymore? Was it It's a Wonderful Life? Or
It was Macy's, and It's a Wonderful Life.
What's the other one?
Yeah, there was the bad guys. It had been a store and it had already closed, so they could use it in the movie, I think.
Okay.
I'll have to think
I
about it.
want to say Kresge's, but it wasn't Kresge's.
It's like Kresge's. Kresge's was apparently a store here, though.
Yeah, Kresge's was a
but
store
I didn't
here.
know that. And I was writing a play with my friend, and she wrote that in, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
We used to go to this discount store, and we'll get back to the parade in a second, but we used to go to this discount store, Amanda, called Byway.
Wait, you said the store that's in It's a Wonderful Life.
I know, I didn't mean
You
it,
mean
so
A Miracle on 34th Street?
That's what I meant, yeah.
Okay.
Which is a movie and a play, and Amanda was in the play.
I was.
And that's why I referenced it. So we used to have a store called Byway, and at Byway you could get things, I want to say for like less, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember we would always be like, I'm going to Byway. We're going to Byway. We should go to Byway. Byway was the thing you would say a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're gone.
I
Byways
think
are
Giant Tiger for a lot of communities has replaced the Byway
yeah.
in Canada.
Yeah.
So I have the name of that store. Gimbals.
Gimbals. That's right. Gimbals.
Gimbals.
I'm sure a lot of people were already like.
Gimbals was upset. And it was like Macy's versus Gimbals. I mean, these were the big things in the 40s when this movie was made. And then obviously the play is based on that, but it's it's about a mall Santa,
Mm-hmm.
the Macy's Santa, right?
Right. So we'll be at the Macy's parade.
We will. That's the plan
Mm-hmm.
with my folks. So that's a whole thing that we're still organizing. But I'm looking forward to it. And when I was 12, I started to say that I got to see the Macy's parade in person the first time. And I remember what I was wearing. I remember the whole day. But the thing I remember the most, actually, was that I got a hot chocolate and a croissant. And it was the first croissant at 12 years old that I had ever had. It just wasn't part of, we were from Massachusetts. We went to Dunkin' Donuts. Croissants just weren't a thing.
Sure.
That you could get. And, even a bakery like that. I mean, I'm sure they're around. I just wasn't part of my family to go pick up croissants.
Of course. And, they're not as ubiquitous as they are today.
Yeah.
When
true.
you were a child. Yeah.
And it changed my palate forever. I will say this. I'm listening right now to a very relaxing book.
Oh.
So if anyone's still awake and they want a relaxing book recommendation, I've got one, but it's very food-based.
Okay.
Which the croissant made me think of it.
Okay.
I'm listening to Ina Garten's When the Luck Happens.
Okay.
Be ready when the luck happens.
Okay.
And so she talks about a really lovely trip that she's had with her beloved husband that she always talks about, Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
And they were pretty broke and young newlyweds. And they had this pocket of time. They had like 3 months. And they did the math and realized it would be cheaper to backpack, basically, and using a tent. So they camped throughout Europe with a car. They had a car.
And a tent.
They rented a car,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a little orange tent. And every now and then they'd splurge for a hotel, but for the most part, they just...
toured around.
Yeah, toured around, and they would go wherever they felt like on any given day. I know you're not into the tent part, but...
Yeah, sorry, I'm not a camper or tents. No, thank you.
Anyway.
A thin barrier between me and the world just doesn't cut it.
They said at one point they were camping in Scotland, and they woke up and they were surrounded by sheep. They had no idea.
That's hilarious.
That there were sheep in the field. Like they just pitched the tent in the field and then woke up to sheep outside their tent. But she talks about how it revolutionized her relationship with food coming from 1960s New York, Long Island, I think but anyway, New York, and then going to Europe and just eating whatever was fresh in the market, and
Sure.
the fresh cheeses and the fresh croissants,
Of course, yeah.
jams, all of it.
Marmalades.
Yeah, and just it really ignited for her a love of whole food, whole ingredients, also canning and preserving, I think.
Right.
And she actually talks about, because she has this relationship with France, because that's where they mostly were, how Napoleon changed the eating habits of France to this day. And I thought that was interesting.
He was a strong proponent of crumpets and croissants.
They don't do crumpets.
Oh, sorry, I meant croissants.
That's England. He made them form bread into the baguette shape so that soldiers could put them in their pants. So that they'd have like bread to eat.
I see.
Like
okay.
It made it more portable, I guess, for soldiers. Is one thing that they say.
I don't know if that's true. There's so many little.
All right.
A soldier's going to put a baguette in his pants.
Against Napoleon?
Well, first of all, a lot of things. But before that, let me just say, like, putting a baguette down your pants.
Try it.
As a soldier. First of all, can you bend your knee?
Have you ever boiled a hot egg and then had a nice warm hard-boiled egg in your pocket to keep your hands warm, and then you had lunch later?
No.
Well,
no, I haven't.
These are tips and tricks from the Frugal hacks that I know about. So there you go.
How long does the hard-boiled egg stay warm?
Oh, like a good hour.
Oh, I would do that.
Smart, right?
Yeah. Is the baguette warm? Because what I would like to do is have a baguette.
A warm baguette on each side?
Yeah,
on
down
each
my
leg?
pants like a French soldier.
Food for warming that you then get to eat later, I think is maybe one of my favorite frugal hacks.
Okay.
Warm yourself in the winter with food on your body that you can then later eat.
You could do that in the summertime too. Like get a bag of peas that are frozen, put them on the back of your neck, and then
then eat defrosted peas for your delicious lunch.
Why not? Why not? You can mash them up and do mushy peas and squeeze them out of the bag.
This is why I do most of the cooking in the house, folks.
Well, before we end the podcast, I want to talk about some other stores that have closed that you may have gone to when you were a child. I was talking about Byway. There was another one called, and this might just be local, Bargain Heralds. Did you ever hear about Bargain Heralds?
No.
Yeah, Bargain Heralds. I think they used to call it like the BH Emporium to make it sound fancy, but Bargain Heralds was one of them. I never really went to Bargain Heralds. I went to Byway, and I went to do you remember Towers?
No, so these types of discussions are where you see the Canadian versus the American. Right. And also we're from different cities. Even if I, grew up in Canada, I would have been in a different part. But
I love Towers because I got my first Slinky at Towers.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We had Filene's
Basement.
And Filene's Basement, which was like the discount. So Filene's Basement is where you did all your back to school shopping.
Oh, what was Filene's then?
A department store.
Just a regular,
like Macy's.
Like a Gimbel's?
Yeah, like a Gimbel's. JCPenney, which I think is still around.
Sears is gone.
I know. I did their last ad campaign and it never aired because they closed it.
Well, was it Simpsons? Simpsons and Sears. Remember
Again,
Simpsons?
No, but I have things that say Simpsons on it because clearly it was a thing back in Canada. But no, we didn't have the Simpsons. Toronto had Eaton's for the longest time.
Yeah.
And it's still the Eaton Center, right?
Right.
But there is no Eaton's, right?
It's gone in receivership, and now...
Oh, is there Eaton's? I don't think so.
Well, there's some Hudson's Bay stuff.
You're talking about the Bay.
Oh, I'm talking about the Bay, right.
Eaton's is gone.
Eaton's is gone. Eaton's was like the fancy department store where you would go and get fancy stuff, China.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
They had everything, right? So,
right.
But Eaton's like it was I don't want to say it was high end, but it had pretty much everything.
Right. I'm trying to think of what other stores that we would go to that are no longer around.
The Eaton's, and then there was another one I can't think. Simpsons. I remember going to Simpsons all the time. Zellers.
Oh yeah, Simpsons. No, that wasn't part of my world.
Zellers, where the lowest price was the law.
No, I moved to Canada, and that was still very much a thing. Zellers was like Kmart.
Yeah.
In fact, Kmart. I think it was owned by Kmart at one point.
Was it?
Well, I don't know, but they had the same sort of deals. You know how like there's certain brands, like Walmart has its own brands or whatever.
For anyone who was from Toronto, this is very specific. Honest Ed's.
I was thinking about Honest Ed's, yeah. So Honest Ed's, when I moved to Toronto, was this crazy maze of a bargain store where you could find, it was hard to know what you were going to find there. But if you were setting up a kitchen, you could find like Tupperware and pots and pans and anything for a kitchen. I remember they had all that stuff there.
Well, the thing that made Honest Ed's what it was like Amanda said, it was like just a huge, huge place.
And it was so iconic. It had huge lights, orange and like a red with yellow lights.
Mm-hmm.
And it was huge on the corner of Bathurst and Bloor.
If you know that store, we don't live too far from it. So if you're like, oh, Marco and Amanda live near what was Honest Ed's, but Honest Ed's made its sort of name. I don't want to say made its name, but was iconic because it had a lot of stuff that new Canadians would need. So if you came to this country,
right.
You could go there and get everything for your kitchen, like you were saying.
Right.
all the plates you might need, all the glassware you might need.
Toilet paper, paper towels.
Pots and pans.
Yeah. But also like knickknacks, tchotchkes.
Yeah.
Like, do you say tchotchke or tchotchka?
I don't say either.
Okay. Knickknacks.
Just because I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I never know what the right...
Mm-hmm.
Or people say tchotchkes and stuff. I don't know.
So that's what made that what it is. And it closed a few years back, and they had these iconic painted signs that would say, like, mops $1.94 each or whatever. And they had a real...
I wonder who did those signs.
Oh.
I met Honest Ed once.
Now, Honest Ed was the impresario who has all the theaters now in Toronto.
And his last name was Mervish, Honest Ed Mervish.
Yeah, so you'll see Ed Mervish Theater or whatnot. So their name
He was a real entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He was kind of like Mr. Toronto.
Yeah, and he used to give out turkeys around Thanksgiving.
Amazing.
And Christmas, yeah. What was he like when you met him?
Old.
Okay.
I was dressed as a giant mascot, so, he was kind and small. He was a very small man.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of smiled and he waved, and he was, he's one of those guys. I think this about lots of people, Joe Biden, like anybody they might be one way behind the scenes, but then as soon as they get on stage, that's how they know themselves.
Sure.
Right? Like that's their life. And I think once we put him on a stage, where he was on a stage with me, it was his birthday. He used to have a huge birthday celebration in the summer.
Right.
I think his birthday was in August. And so he would have this huge birthday celebration. And so the company I worked for, Pizza was one of the sponsors. So we made I think he was turning 99.
Something like that.
So we made a pizza that had the pepperoni spelt out 99.
Great.
Anyway, and he thought that was pretty great.
Fantastic. Well, for anyone who's celebrating their birthdays or have recently celebrated their birthdays, we want to wish you a happy birthday.
And if you're still with us and awake, let us know what stores you have in your neck of the woods that are no longer there. I'd love to hear some of these great names, like Gimbals or the Byway or
Bargain Heralds or Filene's.
Or Zellers.
Because they're funny names. Until next time, we hope you were able to listen and sleep.